Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus one more time. I want to take a little bit of your time and share a message with you, and I'm hoping that it will do something for you just as it did for me. I'd like to share a story with you, if you don't mind. We oftentimes confuse, probably all the time, the beginning of time. Some of us believe that time started 6,000 years ago. Some believe 2,000 years ago. Some believe 12, 25, 50,000, a billion years ago. And when did it actually begin? None of us know. Now, I want you to go back in time with me on this story. There was a time when there were a group of people living on this earth, and they were having a fantastic, wonderful, fruitful, beautiful life. Every day and every night, everything was just absolutely wonderful. Each person had responsibilities to do that were just natural. It began with the family, the initial family, starting with well, as we can see it today, a man, a woman, and a child. A man and a woman treating each other the special kind of way that resulted in them receiving the results back that was appropriate for them. On the other hand, when the child come in, the same thing happened. Teaching, the same things became normal, normal, normal. And everybody, as the family spread across the town and across the hills and valleys, that basic principle of compassion that was exhibited from the husband and the wife, or the man and the woman, and then the child, and he was just taught. Now, these people were recognizing that they were on an earth that they had nothing to do with being there. And so they attributed that as a result of a power that they could not see because it wasn't human. And they called it a superpower, a superior power. And they deduced that even the human existence upon this earth, like the trees, like the birds, and all of the other things that we know that live, also a result of that power. And so it was normal and natural for them to respect a power that they couldn't see, that they held responsible for all existence because that was the way it is. But now, that was a normal, a natural way of life. Beautiful. But as you can imagine today, someone recognized that there was a power somewhere that was receiving all the respect, and no one could see it. So how good would it be? How wise would it be? You know how we are, some of us, to be in a position to receive that same honor, to receive that same respect that this invisible one was receiving. So they decided, or this individual decided, to claim that position, that powerful position that you couldn't see, that you were honoring. He was going to claim it for himself. Bold enough, daring enough to do just that. Now, no one is suspecting or ever thinking about something like this happening or occurring. It never crossed their mind. It hasn't been given any thought. And all of a sudden, here is someone in front of them saying that they are descendant of that spirit that you couldn't see, that has come here to be instrumental in guiding the people, to be that power that they can't see, to sit on the throne as a king, to sit on the throne as a queen, to sit on the throne as a pharaoh, to sit on the throne as a political party, whether Republican or Democrat, or a nation. democracy, communism, socialism, etc., to sit on the throne and administer a government that had been natural, a government that was free flowing, and the information was that this particular person, power sitting on the throne that's replaced the invisible power, is going to make it possible so that you can have more than you've ever had. Because really, some of you are entitled to more. Some of you deserve more. Some of you are superior. Some of you are special. And through that same process is able to claim all of the resources that came from that power that you couldn't see as now their own, through legislation, if it may require that, or just by being powerful and taking it, if that is what required. The same was expressed when the natives had their land confiscated and taken away from them. The same was expressed when other people were treated as slaves, were made slaves, and all of the things that happened to slaves for the benefit of this one that was replacing the power that we couldn't see. Now this power is doing all of this. The peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of each of our dreams had left us now, because there was someone saying that the power that we couldn't see now is sitting on this throne. And in proving that point, there were many who received the benefits of accepting that deception. They are called billionaires. These have been blessed by this new system to the extent that they have billions and billions, what really represents more than they could ever need. But under this system, you still have people living in the streets, don't have health care, not adequate health care, because health care under this system to be effective and to end the sicknesses and diseases is not prosperous. It's nothing that's acceptable in this system. You have to keep this stuff going on in the system to keep people being billionaires and others multimillionaires. In other words, having access to doing basically anything they want to do, because it has been designed that money does that, allows you to do that, allows you to do the things that everybody on earth could naturally do before. Now under this system, whether it's here or anywhere, you can only do what your money will permit you to do, or your allegiance to the power will okay you doing. So all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, this is a story about how it used to be and how it is now. And we have lived before us through the year, at least the past 4 years, but more pronounced in the year 2020, of a people, an individual that was bold enough to stand up and say the things that he said, things that had been condemned all of our lives, stood up and said it to the negative, and was accepted by half of the nation. And half of the nation willing to put their life on the line to back up everything that he was doing, even though they knew it was wrong, even though they knew it was lies, they were still willing to back it up. That's the way, that's the whole picture, ladies and gentlemen, of how it happened. Now, what is that for? That's for to see what you are going to do. Now, I must admit to you, in the story, the only way that the natural flow of love is expressed and will ever be expressed in society again is when people go back and return that respect, not to the king, not to the queen, not to the president, and not even to the Constitution, but to God. And if that Constitution is the one that the people have, then it's fine. But any Constitution that does not represent peace and prosperity and freedom and joy for everybody, I'm not talking about written down, I'm talking about effectively, you can see it. If that Constitution does not produce that, then that Constitution is against the Constitution of God. And the people who wake up and understand the Constitution of God. They are the ones that live. Now, what that also means is that they are willing to die. They know the truth. And knowing the truth also qualifies them to accept the fact that their existence here is by a power that they can't see. All the things that they do while being here is due to a power that they cannot see. And so, standing in a situation, in a spot that the power that you can't see will kill you, then you accept that as being the role and position you are supposed to be. There's only one other way, and that's to fall back into what you know is not true, what you know is fake. It's going back and accepting Trump or anyone who feels that position as your God, as opposed to the true God of the world. No, my friends, this is the message that I want you to know, is this. I personally believe that every last one of you want to live in peace. I don't believe that there are those of you who just want to kill. I believe that there are many of you who express that attitude, but I believe that you were trained that. I don't believe it's just a natural thing. And not being natural, I think it can be changed. It might be a complicated way, but I think that basically the life that each of us want to live is the same life that you want to live. And there's a way to do it. So if you replay this tape, you'll get it. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.